Welcome back. Annalise and her mom, Tara, are joining us to talk about the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway. Thanks for being here, y'all.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so Annalise, you are a patient of St. Jude Hospital. So tell us a little bit about your story.
So when I was 18 months, I was diagnosed with a hepatoblastoma tumor. It was on my liver and it spread to both my lungs, and it was about the size of a Coke can. And St. Jude pretty much saved my life, and it's the only reason I'm here today.
Wow. So, Mom, why should people support St. Jude? I mean, how did they support you and Annalise?
Wow, they truly did support us and our whole family, actually. So Annalise's cancer was very rare, in fact, but when we got there, they were very confident in her treatment and in the plan that we were going to do. There were actually 3 options, but we, chose one that they suggested, and they saved her life. They did. And while being there, all of our food, our housing, everything was covered along with her treatment, of course. And before I was given this experience of my own, I was the skeptic. I was the one that said, how do you know all these funds are truly going to support this? My husband was a donor from before we were married. And he said, just 2 things you have to do is tithe and give to St. Jude, whatever you do. And I said, okay, if you insist. And little did I know I'd have my own experience later to show me that those funds do, in fact, support those families.
Wow. So one of the ways they support things like that is through the Dream Home giveaway. So have y'all been inside the home?
We have.
You have? What did you think?
It's really pretty. I like it.
Yeah, what did you think?
Yes,
Mom?
I thought it was super spacious, very efficient, of course, modern, and it's gorgeous.
Yes.
Gorgeous.
So
Truly a dream.
Right. You mentioned being a skeptic about these funds actually going to families like y'all. What do you have to say to people in Acadiana who may be skeptics as well, or just to encourage them to donate and participate in the Dream Home giveaway?
Yeah, just know that we're a real family from here in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, and we're just an average family with a beautiful little 18-month-old girl that just ended up having little cells in her body that mass-produced, and that no one around here had ever heard of her diagnosis. And so we were very blessed to have St. Jude to take care of that and get that out of her body.
Awesome. And now, thanks to St. Jude and the donations like this in Acadiana, Annalise went to her school dance over the weekend.
Yes.
That is awesome. All right, we'll have more Passe after this.